In January of 2020, I had a dream. And that next day, I began to explain that dream and what had happened to my mentor, and I just began to cry. The Lord spoke, and I drove straight home to my wife, Crystal, and began to tell her about what God had said. And we decided that the next step for us as a family was to pray about what that looked like separately. 3 days later, we came back together with the same exact thing written down, that God had called us to plant a church in Harrisburg, North Carolina. We continued to believe God for an open door, and He had a plan all along here on this facility, which used to be known as Harvest Harrisburg. In January of 2021, we began to meet at 5 p.m. on Sunday nights, worshiping together and seeing people get saved and baptized and grow in their understanding of who God has called them to be and becoming disciples. It was an amazing, amazing season of our church, but God was not done yet. I began to grow a great relationship with Pastor Mike Thevenin, who was the pastor of Harvest Harrisburg, and the relationship between our two churches continued to grow, and we didn't realize it, but God had a greater plan all along. In April of 2022, we actually launched our churches together as one body on one mission, faithfully serving one God. And just in the few months that we have seen since, we've seen over 25 people get saved and baptized and people stepping into their call to ministry. God has been doing something incredible here in Harrisburg, North Carolina, and we believe that He's just getting started. God is calling us to Isaiah 54 to enlarge our house, to stretch out our tent because we are bursting at the seams. We believe that the next season of our journey as a church is one that will require all of us to be full of faith, locked arms as a family, moving forward. We believe that there's two specific areas God is calling us to focus on in this next season. The first is kids, and the second is community space. We want to build out more kids' classrooms so that we can have more young children come in and not only hear about Jesus, but get discipled and understand how they're supposed to live in a relationship with Him, because we believe the church is called to be the place where children can learn about that. The second is community space. We don't want just a crowd in our church. We want a community. We want to go from friends to family. So we are believing to expand upon even our lobby so that people can learn each other's names and continue to do life together. And we also want to use that community bridge to open up a coffee shop in our facility. And we're believing that through these 3 steps of expansion that we are going to be able to reach our community of Harrisburg, North Carolina with the gospel at an even greater rate. So why make this video? Why talk about Journey? Why share this vision? Because we believe that God is calling us into this next season of our journey, and He may be encouraging you to be a part of it. So there's 2 ways that you can be a part of our journey. The first is to pray. We need as many people as possible partnered alongside of us in prayer and believing that we are going to step into this season, not only to expand our facility, but to reach more people in our community with the gospel. And the second way is to give. There's a link, and we would love for you to click on that and to pray about, God, what role, what way can my family play a part in expanding the gospel in Harrisburg, North Carolina? God has been up to something amazing in this community, and we're believing that the best is yet to come. So thank you for partnering with us. Thank you for stepping into this journey with us together, full of faith, as a family, moving forward.